Hi, Hung. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, we are
Got you.
live.
Yes, we are. Welcome. We are live right now. Oh my gosh. It's first of all so good to see you. You look well. So this is Hung Nguyen, you guys. This is one of my former clients. We worked together for what, 2, 3 years or something.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, so it was a while.
yeah.
We started before the pandemic and we've gone through a lot of, historical changes together. And yeah, I mean, just on a personal level and on a just from somebody that got to work with you. You're just an awesome human being. I'm just super honored to know you and have seen, everything that you've gone through and all the ways that you've grown. And it's just so inspirational, so amazing. So it's an honor to chat with you again. How are you? Let's start there. I want this to be conversational. So yeah.
I'm actually doing very well, actually. And let's reverse that a little bit. The pleasure was all mine, actually. And
Oh,
I do appreciate all the time and all that stuff that we spent together and how you actually helped me rewire my head. So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know me. I do believe everything that people experience, it's, the person who's done it. So share with us a little bit, if you don't mind. Where were you a couple years ago? And maybe even backtracking all the way back, like who were you? Where were
yeah.
you? Yeah.
So I started off as a real estate investor. Started doing a lot of work and just pushing my limits, getting to the point where we did more than everybody else basically. And we went from making like a ton of money, like I'm talking like $10 million in our pockets, to me not even knowing how to make a dollar. Like I forgot. I totally forgot how to do it. And I'm just like, how the heck can you forget how to do something like that, right? And then it was crazy. So that was in 2019 when an ex-partner of mine decided to fire everybody and like just take money and just run away with it. And I was just like, man, this kind of sucks. And I was like, in my mind at the time, I was like, you know, if I made it the first time, I could probably do it again. The reality was, I made it the first time, and then I went super depressed, and then I forgot how to do.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was like a year or two before the pandemic that we met. And yeah, I remember our first conversation. Do you remember our first conversation?
I do. This was back in 2019. I think it was August of 2019. Um, yeah, I that was when I first contacted Yuri and had I think it was a breakout session. I don't know what you call it now.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was. Oh, you
It was
mean
like
the
a
first call, the clarity call.
yeah, the
Yeah.
first call. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, you basically were giving out a free coaching session, 1 hour or something. I can't remember. And Yuri literally was like, "I want you to write down 100 contacts, or was it 50? I can't remember. 50 contacts out of your phone." And I was like sitting here thinking, "Oh man, I don't have 50 contacts. Are you crazy? Like, what the heck? Is this person is this person crazy or something, making me pull out 50 contacts, and I don't even know if I have that many in my phone." And then I was doubting myself too. I was like, there's no freaking way. I'm not gonna do this. I don't think I can do this. I don't have the confidence for it. I'm not gonna do it. And then afterwards, I was like, you know what? Let's start doing it. So I pulled out my phone. I literally pulled out my phone. And I was like, all right, let's go down the A's. And then by the time I got to the C's, I already had 50 contacts written down. I was like, oh shoot. So that was a lot easier than I thought, right? I was like, wait, I have way more contacts in my phone than I ever thought like was possible. And
Yeah.
this wasn't friends or family either. It was all like people that I've met or networked with. So I was just like, dang, I already have 50 and I'm already at C. That's insane.
And why was that significant for you at that moment?
So the reason why it was so significant was because I stopped believing in myself, and I started making excuses that weren't real. Like I was making up an excuse that I didn't have that many contacts. I was making an excuse that, oh, I'm not confident enough to talk to these guys. Oh, I made an excuse that I wasn't good enough to talk to these guys. And I kept the excuse list was like this. And my to-do list was like non-existent. It's like one line. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and
and
you know,
so
so interesting because when I met you over Zoom on that call, I just remember you telling me like what's going on in your life at the time. And I'm also hearing about all the amazing things that you've accomplished in your life and your business. And I was like, there is just no way. Like, I'm gonna let this human believe this because it's just ridiculous. And I just remember challenging you because I also want to make sure that you were like really committed to this process and you showed up with 50 contacts literally. I think I gave you 24 hours and it was really amazing. I was very impressed. And what shifted for you during that time?
I tell that story all the time. I'm like,
Do
dude, you don't have
you?
income? What are you crazy? Like, open up your phone. I guarantee you, you're not gonna even try that hard. You're gonna find 50 contacts in there. Um,
Yeah.
but that was the biggest significance right there was that shift, right? The shift of I made excuses at one point, right?
Yeah.
Like I made an excuse once, and it was just like, shoes. It wasn't an excuse. It was like excuse. I didn't have the contacts and all these things, right? So like the reality is that the reason why that was so significant was because I had it here all along. I had it
Yeah.
inside of me. I had it in my phone. I had these contacts. I just didn't believe myself, or I didn't even believe in myself, or whatever it is. Either way, both.
Which is wild because you're doing amazing, which we're gonna get into. I'm so excited to hear about all the things that you've been up to during the time, but also after. So I'm really excited to hear about this. And I'm kind of curious, like what did you forget about yourself during, what do you feel like you forgot? Why do you think that happened? And then what was the process of remembering who you really are? Like, what was that like for you?
So I forgot pretty much everything about myself. I forgot how easy it was for me to shift my thought from this to that. How easy it was for me to solve a problem, right? Um, I just remember I thought like I used to do a lot of flips in real estate and like there would be like four different contractors sitting at the house and none of them can figure out how to change something up. And I would just walk in there and it's like, why don't we just do this, and this, and then switch it to this, and this, and it will solve the problem. And they're like, this is why we always ask you questions, right? And I forgot like the whole thing, right? Like I didn't know how to pivot. I thought I sucked at sales. Um, I didn't even like remember like how to do the closing techniques. And can I get you something real quick and show you?
Sure.
So this is so I was showing people on the sales floor, and this here, look at all these pages. This is all rebuttals. I don't even know how many pages this is, but this is all rebuttals and like closing tactics and closing techniques that I wrote out. And I wrote this out in like 2017. And look at this. It's all like closing tactics and rebuttals and every single line on how to respond to
Yeah,
every single thing. And I forgot how to close. I forgot how to sell. Like, how can this be when I wrote this in 2017?
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, from my perspective, what I saw was I know what extreme stress can do. And I remember you had a good reason to be stressed out, don't get me wrong. Um, and I just remember being like, yeah, this is a brilliant man, obviously. And he went through something, I would even call it maybe traumatic or really scary. And sometimes when we get to that point, our brain can shut down and think, like we are in a survival mechanism where we can't think outside of like one thing, which is like the next moment or just like surviving really. So yeah, for me, the reason I invited you into that exercise is to like really open up your peripheral and you like opened it up. And yeah, and you've been creating magic since. So it's so cool to see. Um, what what do you where do you like what do you think if you could tell yourself anything during that time from who you are today, what would you tell them?
Oh man, that's there's a lot of people that actually come up to me, and I just remember that moment I was sitting in that chair and I was like, I can't do it. Like I just can't do it, right? And I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, what is it that you think that you cannot do, right? Because that right there is a self-limiting belief in its own. Like you just decided that that was your self-limiting belief right off the bat. And trust me on this, I used to say the same thing to Yuri. She'd be like, imagine how it would be to be in the future and you're remembering yourself back with your letters of um, like your future self letter to yourself now. And I just remember sitting there, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. Um, um, how
I
I talk
always
to myself.
appreciated your honesty, Hung.
And, I was like literally telling myself, I was just like, what's changing my language gonna do? Like, are you serious right now? Like, okay, I'm gonna say like, oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm gonna do this or whatever, but this is already done or whatever, right? And I was like, that's not how it is, right? So then like I do this to my sales guys all the time too. I'm like, dude, in order for you to close the deal, you have to imagine that's already closed. And therefore then you can actually close the deal, right? You have to imagine that you already have the money in your pocket, and then you can actually say that you can actually sell this product confidently. So I remember sitting there and I was just like, remember, I was like, um, oh, this is stupid. I'm not gonna tell myself I already sold this account. Oh, this is stupid. I'm not gonna say that I'm really good at systems and processes. Oh, this is stupid. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna pay off all my debt. Ah, this is dumb. Like, I don't even know how to pay all my taxes. Just remember sitting there. I was just like, so yeah, my thing is now, I've been there and I've done that
Yeah.
and I'm in the future now. I can
Yeah,
totally
you
tell
are
myself.
literally in the future. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, now I can literally tell myself like, hey, stop doubting everything, you know?
Yeah. And the cool thing is, I think I know that I saw this version of you for many years. And that's the one
Yeah.
I was interacting with the whole time, just like you interact with your clients or potential clients as if they're already your clients. Like I was already rehearsing this interview like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? And I had zero
Yeah.
doubt in my mind. Like I was so sure of it. And um yeah, so thank you for proving me right. Yeah. What do you think I know what you're gonna say. What do you think really helped you get to where you are today? I mean, one of the things I know what you're gonna say, it starts with an A or S. And I think that really symbolizes something for you though.
What Yuri is probably talking about is systems and automation. The
Yeah.
A and the S right there. Um, so yeah, we're still aligned there. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So yeah.
oh, go ahead. No, why do you think that was important to you to do this to your own life and business?
So here's the reality of things. I didn't listen to myself for a long time, right? Yuri's like, go out and treat yourself. And I got myself French fries from Arby's. Like I was treating myself. I was just like, shit, I have so much freaking debt and I have so much stuff to do. Like, there's no way I'm gonna treat myself, right? So I treated myself to the lowest cost thing that tastes really good to me, which is Arby's curly French fries.
And I hope you're not
Um,
doing that still.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But so the biggest thing was is you know, I wasn't listening to myself and I didn't even get myself sleep, right? Like I remember this conversation. Like so I had if you guys don't know, I have like mini Yuri sitting on my shoulder now. And I'm like, should I be sleeping? And she's like, yes, you need to sleep because you don't know things, like whatever, right? And I actually repeated that this morning too. And I was just like, listen, if you slept in, it's not because you're a bad person. It's because your body is telling you you need some rest in order for you to gain the clarity that you need,
Yes, yes.
right?
I love how I'm sitting on your shoulder now.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't think of the next move. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, am I like clouding my mind or whatever? And then I'm just like, go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Right? And then I'll wake up and I'm like, yes, okay, I got my clarity. I know my answer. I know what to do. Super clear to me. Like, I don't know why I couldn't see this earlier. Like, and it
Yeah.
goes back to that one moment too. It's like, um, I didn't believe myself. No, that sleep is not necessary. And I didn't know that, I didn't have the clarity because I was operating in this state of deprived sleep. And I'm just like, this is how you run. You run on 2 hours of sleep, maybe 2 hours a week of sleep. I don't know, but you keep pushing until you freaking make money, right? And I was like, no, it's not like that.
Yeah, because again, you were like running on that like survival mindset. It sounds like you're operating at a completely different level. And really quickly, I mean, to tie everything back, because you and I know what we're talking about, but if people are watching this, like what does this have to do with automate and systems? Um, well, first of all, because at the time you were really focused on creating automation and systems for your own clients. And I would imagine you do this still in your business. I know your business has shifted, but I know that that's a huge part of what you do still. But what I saw was that there was this thing that you were really, really passionate about. Like literally, you wouldn't finish one sentence without the word
No,
automation.
same, exactly. Also, let's tie
Yet,
it back together.
yeah, yet you weren't living by your own principles. And that's
Yes.
what I saw, which was that there was like the lack of alignment. It's like me, talking about fulfillment, talking about performance, and I'm like, I hate my life. Like that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, going back to it, I wasn't listening to myself. I was automating and helping everyone else build systems and operations and automation. And like I'd build out super cool things, but then I'm like sitting here stressed to death, working until I die, right? And like on manual stuff, like me actually doing things.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, how are you today? What's going
So,
well for you? I heard some cool news. I know you're going to
so
be humble, so I want to like really pump you up a little.
So it started off at the beginning of the year too, and then I'm like trying to slow things down. And I'm like, why am I slowing things down? And then I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna program all this stuff, and I'm gonna do all this automation. And I put everything in place. I like spent a bunch of time with no sleep again, obviously. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself again? This is in January, this year, January. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing it for like no money. Like I'm doing it to prove a concept. So just to get a background for everyone, I started the current company 4 years ago, right before COVID, and Yuri was actually a coach of mine already. I started this company and I sold 100% of my shares for $1,100 total. $1,100 total. Okay, and I kept complaining about it. I'm like, man, that was $1 billion idea. Like I should have been part of that company. I knew that was the company that I wanted to be. But again, I sold my shares, right? So I couldn't do it. So I was like, man, like this sucks. And I was beating myself up a lot. Um, fast forward to today, this company is now worth, well, they, I don't want to say anything yet, but it's worth, I don't even know how much more it's worth now. That's
Yeah,
how big the number is, right? Like, uh,
yeah. It's
uh,
ridiculous. Can I
it's,
say the number that I heard last?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think I heard last 60 million US dollars.
Yep, exactly.
So it's gone up since. Good for you.
So yeah, I mean, if we're doing the math, it's about 54,545
Yeah.
times what I sold it for.
Wow.
And just to put it in perspective, to earn back my percentages, I had to increase this company's revenue by an astronomical amount, right? Like I didn't even think it was possible. Um, so the first amount to get a small little sliver of it, so it's 10% of this company, right? It was a small little sliver. I had to get this company to $4 million. And this company was only making about 1.5 million. So you're saying I have to 2.5x the company in order to get 10% sliver. And then we kept going, and then we kept going, and then we kept going. And now I'm actually at 50% ownership of this company again.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so super happy about it. I can't even express like how happy this year has been absolutely crazy. Okay, so like started off, I put this contract in that I was making no money, so it was $2,000 a month in hopes of actually getting the equity back. And it started off at 2,000, and then I almost got evicted. And then my place got flooded with negative 17 degrees. It blew up all the pipes. So it flooded. I lost everything. I lost, like, I'm telling you, when I lost everything, I lost everything. I lost TVs, I lost couches, I lost rugs, toys, my daughter's toys, everything. We lost everything. We had to start over
Mm.
from scratch. And insurance didn't pay out until July. So we didn't even know that it was going to take that long, but it took 5 months. So
Wow.
remember, I'm about to get evicted. I just lost everything,
Yeah.
and I didn't get the money back until July. So like there was a huge gap of me just like freaking out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
then,
um,
so what got
but
you through all that? Like, who did you learn to be during that time? Or, like be remembering again, once again, like who you really are, like how resilient you are.
yeah. So the truth was, so Andrew, Andrew, he
Yeah.
basically I remember I gave him a call and I was just like, hey Andrew, and I called his partners and his friends too, the other coaches, and I was like, I'm not gonna make the mastermind in March. There's no freaking way. I'm about to get evicted. I just lost everything. I have no money. I had nothing. And then I don't know what happened. Like the stars just aligned, right? And I was like, wait, win the storm. So this is an event we started doing. This is the first time we actually tested out an event and got a booth. And um, I mean, we didn't have that much money in the bank account. We were like basically gambling everything on this one event. And so we spent like $20,000 on this event. We're like buying merchandise, we're buying t-shirts, we're buying the banners, the tablecloth, the vertical banners, the backdrop. We're buying pens and lighters and poker chips and all these things just for one event. And I just remember, all right, we're going all in on this one. And it
Wow.
happened to be that that event was in Fort Lauderdale, and Andrew's event was in Miami, and it was the exact same time. Like it wasn't the exact same time, but the event was 2 days before, and then Andrew's event was 2 days after. So I was like, I got my flight,
Yeah.
and
Everything
only
lined up.
yeah, so the only thing I had to cover was my own hotel, and I was like, all right, I might be okay with that.
That's amazing. And, like I truly believe there's always the biggest breakdown before the biggest breakthrough and like all the things working out.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a huge, huge, just like evidence that you continue to trust in yourself. Nobody goes full in that situation unless you're hung.
So I'll tell you even something even crazier, right? Like I was like sitting here struggling. I got my evictions letter. I posted on my Facebook account. Um, but basically it goes further than that, right? So I was like, okay, I'm struggling. Everybody's like, oh, if you read the Bible, you'll start seeing things and you're gonna start believing in God, and then God's gonna provide because God's within and blah blah blah. Like, everybody kept saying that, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't see how this is gonna happen, but whatever. I'm gonna start reading the Bible. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm starting to read the Bible, and then I get to Noah's Ark, the section of Noah's Ark where God's like, I hate everything that I built out. Like I hate how my life is, or I hate everything that I did, and I'm just gonna cause this big flood. I'm gonna have Noah build this ark, and it's gonna save like a male and a female of every single species or whatever. And I was reading that moment, and then like right after that moment, the flood, everything gets to start over, and then like
Wow.
the world started thriving or whatever,
No
right?
way. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. That's amazing.
So the only safe area was actually the ark itself, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember, so what happened was our whole entire place was flooding, right? And everything was flooding. I remember I was running into the computer room, trying to like saving our computers, making sure it's waterproof, all these things. Our bathroom was flooding in the master. The bathroom outside was flooding. We were flooding everywhere. The computer room, the desks, the printer, everything was flooding everywhere. And I'm just running around trying to carry this like giant 5 gallon or like the 50-gallon buckets, and it was filling up within like 5 seconds or less. And I'm like, dude, I have no clue what to do right now. So we took our blankets and we made it like a little fort. Like we literally blocked off the doors and like all the baseboards and stuff. We blocked it all off with blankets. And the only room that wasn't wet was our master bedroom.
Wow.
Like the Noah's Ark, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, the symbolic events that occurred right after reading that. That's
Right.
powerful.
Isn't that like the craziest thing happened, right? So then like keep in mind my target goal to get 10% was 4 million, right? So we actually do the math real quick. I had to get $333,000 a month in revenue in order to get to that point of $4 million. So first month it was 60,000, second month was 180, third month was 230. So the first quarter, I was already like almost $1 million of deficit. And I'm like, oh man, what am I getting myself into? I'm probably not going to make it. This is scary as heck, right? And then the flood happened, right? I get to go to Miami after that. And then after Miami, we went from 230 to 330. And then it went from that to 600, and then a million, 2 million. And it kept going up and up and up and up and up. And I was just like, wow.
That's
So yeah,
amazing. I remember you messaged me and I was like, oh my God, here he is. It happened. So exciting. So happy. Oh, yeah. This just makes, this year, I know this is kind of a stretch, but like I declared in the beginning of this year that this is the year good things happen to good people. And I know this is a stretch, but whether it's Taylor Swift or Hung Nguyen, like y'all deserve your success more than like anyone. Yeah, I just compared you to Taylor Swift. That just happened. But I really do believe like this has been a year of like really kind, genuinely good-hearted people like shining. And it just made me so happy to see you because you deserve that. You work hard. And I know like I was always telling you to sleep more, but you work really hard. You put all your energy and literally you're not only like energy physically, but like, financial energy too. I mean, you went all in and you've done that many, many times. And yeah, I'm just so in awe of you. I want to congratulate you from the deepest part of my heart. You deserve it. Like you so deserve this. Like of all people, like this Oh, so happy. So
Thank you so
happy.
much, Yuri.
Thank you, because you're such an inspiration. And I think yeah, and I know you know that now. And yeah, I'm so grateful that you're just who you are. And not only that, but like you continue to like really invest in yourself, go all in. You're continuously learning. You're one of the most successful people I know. Not just, financial, you have a beautiful family. Your daughter's so freaking cute. You have a beautiful wife, and like you lead a life that you can be proud of. And the cool thing is, I know you did this being in with who you are and never give up, and just like really doing good every step of the way. And like I really see you appreciate that. Like that's what I get excited about.
Yeah, I mean, there was key pieces that came into place. Obviously, I like I said, I have mini Yuri always saying like, "Oh no, you should do it this way. Oh no, watch your language. Oh no." But also, a lot of people that I met with inside of the mastermind group that you created in your platform, right? Like Tim, for example.
Oh, Tim is
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so Tim is also very awesome to me as well. I just remember at one point I was just like so down, and then he's like, "Dude, I'm committed to giving you, I think it was like 4 hours. It was like 4 hours right now on doing shadow work for you." And I was like, man, 4 hours to commit. I don't know. 4 hours in one session. I'm like, and I think it ended up going like 6 hours. I can't remember. It
Oh
was like
wow.
basically the whole day. And Tim is just basically like helping me do timeline therapy, shadow work, and all these things. And then right after that, I woke up and I just remember while I was doing it, I was like, I don't know, if it's gonna work. This is this is, I don't know. I remember the doubt like from that, I'm just like, oh, this is dumb. Like, I don't know. I think this is not gonna work for me. And then right
Tim.
after I woke up from that shadow work session, I was like, whoa, where'd all this energy come from? Like, what the heck is that? I'm like starting to jump up and down. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I fired all my clients in that one moment. Every single one of my automation and systems clients, I fired all of them. And I'm
Wow.
saying like I'm making like
You pulled an Elon
40,000.
Musk.
I was like making like 40,000 and my life was like pretty decent, right? It wasn't good, but it was
Yeah.
decent. And I dropped everything to make 2,000 a month, going all in. And I just remember I'm just
That's
like, yeah.
that's amazing. Because I mean, what I see you do over and over again is like, the law of season. You're constantly, destructing what doesn't work, letting it burn away, like fearlessly. Well, maybe a little bit of fear at the time, but most of the time fearlessly. And then you're like not scared to rebuild. And I think that's so powerful because that is the cycle. I mean, we have these seasons and cycles for a reason, and you know how to ride that. And I think
Oh
one of the
yeah.
things so powerful. And this is why the mastermind, I wanted you guys to meet like you and Tim and Ty and all these people. Like you guys are so, and I don't even know if you knew this at the time, but y'all's are so powerful with your intuition. Like you guys know how to listen to your like intuition. And yeah, I mean that takes guts and intuition, yeah.
Well, what's crazy though is so like right around that time after the shadow work thing, I actually joined with Andrew. And there was one thing that I learned from him was design your actual business and your life around your core values. And I
Yes.
always design my life or my business first, and then I build my core values on how the business is going to shape instead of actually building it from the core values out, right? So I remember like sitting there and for the first week, you remember the light room that we created together?
Yep.
So it was a rebranded version of the war room, right? So anyway, um, we did that, and every single thing that we wrote down actually came to reality this year. Like we did not miss on one thing. It was insane. Um,
That's
like
amazing.
yeah, my business partner now, he was like, for example, he was like, I want Bree, and Bree is our production manager now, by the way. He's like, I want Bree as our production manager, and I was like, I don't know, she's part of this big company, and we probably won't get her. So I crossed it off, and I was like, someone like Bree. And what's funny is we got her Bree's best friend, Jennifer or Jen. Um, and right after that, we got Bree. So we got both of them like working for us now. And I'm just like, bro, like we just manifested like the whole year. Like, and so like the whole year was actually just to make 7 million. And I wrote in my own thing, I was like, no way, I'm not settling for seven. I'm going for the 10. I'm gonna put 10.
That's
We actually
amazing.
hit that. Like, so yeah, we're going past 10 now.
Oh, so cool. So cool. I'm so excited for you. Yeah, and I also feel like you've attracted a lot of good people into your life in every aspect of your life. And I know that wasn't always the case, and now you are. And I think that just really shows who you are. So I just feel really, really honored to know you and just happy with my life and my energy field. So I'm so grateful for you.
Likewise, likewise. Because the biggest thing that actually happened was, remember how like you were just saying it earlier in this episode actually, or this video, um, or stream or whatever. You were like,
It's all the above. It's whatever you want.
yeah, whatever you want to call it. But you were saying, what was one thing that actually changed myself from the automation systems and stuff? And you remember I was refusing to hire people, right? Now, like we actually went through 129 employees. Like we went from nine to 129, which means we hired 120 people this year.
Wow.
Insane.
That is insane. And I think that also
Like,
shows that you have like the energetic leadership now. It's not just like numbers of people, but like you as a human, as a leader, like can hold that energy. And
yeah,
that really also speaks volumes about you, how much you've like expanded your energy field and how you can not only hold yourself, your family, your organization, and all the people, and then like 100 people more. So that's really powerful.
yeah. So I mean, it was pretty crazy. So, but I just remember all the time. I was like, dude, sometimes you just have to take a leap and just hire someone, right? And like you tell me all the time, like just hire someone. I'm just like, I don't know, Yuri. I don't know. And you remember the entire time, like I never hired anybody while we were working together.
Yeah. I was like, come on. Well, I am so excited for you. I'm celebrating you so hard. Any last words? Any piece of advice? Any last words for me or anyone listening to this?
Yeah, first thing is listen to your subconscious, even if you have to project your subconscious as an individual like mini Yuri.
The
Um,
mini Yuri you carry. I should
the
make a little
mini Yuri.
avatar for you.
Yeah, and believe in yourself. You have it inside of you. I know it's all cliche stuff, but what I realize is all the cliches that people have said over life has actually been true. So there's a reason why these cliches happen. So listen to yourself, believe in yourself. You have it inside of you, even if you believe not. Even if you think that everything is a catastrophe, like I used to tell Yuri, like I have catastrophic thinking. I'm always going to go to the negative. Look at me now. Like I'm like, I don't want that negative energy. Get the heck out of here. So yeah, um, listen to Yuri. Yuri knows what she's talking about. Um,
Um,
and really the biggest thing is rest and have a lot of gratitude, and having all those put together actually brings you a lot of joy, right? So gratitude and joy is what I teach everyone to have. Like instead of actually catastrophizing in an actual event, think about what you gained from that event, right? So, oh, I'm grateful because that happened, that I learned this, or I'm grateful that this didn't happen rather than what did actually happen, or whatever it is. But find the gratitude in it, and then therefore it would transform it, right? Um, and I think the final thing would be, um, dang, I had it at the tip of my tongue and I totally, I totally lost it.
wow, like we had everyone just like edging on the seat. What is he gonna say? um, yeah, well, and what are you most excited and proud of in your life right now? You have so much going for you. What's most important for you right now?
You know, um, I tell this to my partners and stuff all the time. It's like it's not about money, right? It's about who you have around you, right? So, and this is another Yuri thing, right? It's me and Yuri's talking to me right now. She's saying, um, if you want money or if you're desperate for money, money actually gets repelled. Instead, lean back on gratitude and joy. Surround yourself with people that you have fun with and happiness, and the money will come in. And I'm just like, dude, that doesn't even make sense. Like, how the heck can money come in if you're not working for the money and like striving and seeking this money, right? It's like, how is it gonna come in? No, it's the truth. Like, relax. Nothing is a, nothing's ever an emergency. Just relax. I promise you, lean back on gratitude, find your joy, and money will come. Period.
Hmm.
So yes,
Yeah.
that's the basic thing is I'm surrounding myself with people that will actually bring more joy to my life rather than seeking people just to seek people like, you know, desperation or whatever it is to find money.
And I can feel that, like I can see your energy just being so radiant and yeah, just expansive. So thank you so much for sharing. And it's so good to see you. It's been a minute, and I'm just so, so happy and you're doing well and your family's well and your baby's so cute. And yeah, just super grateful for you. Thank you so much, Hong. I really
Awesome.
appreciate
Thank you so much, Yuri. It's
you.
always nice seeing you. And it has been a
Yeah,
minute, so gotta catch up some more.
yeah, yeah.